twist it, pop it, pass it, twist it, pull it, pop it, twist it, pass it, twist it, pull it, twist it,
Gross.
pop it, twist it,
Oh,
pass it,
yeah.
pull it, pop it, pass it,
Admit Joel.
twist it, pop it, twist it, twist it,
I admitted him. Where'd he go? No, there's a human on now. Hi, we're playing Bop It.
pop it,
Stop.
twist it, pass it,
Oh, turn
Oh.
it off.
Wait.
pop it.
How do you turn it off?
All right.
Okay.
Hi, guys.
That's how we start our show.
Awesome. That's great. That's exciting.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, buddy. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
What?
Ah,
You look
so
great.
how's the project going? Nations.
Nations.
It's going.
Nations. Nations.
Yeah, no. I almost said did the thing your mom did where she called
My
it-
mom calls it nonsense, and
over
I'm
the-
like, no.
over the phone. She's saying nonsense.
Yeah, I'm like, thanks. I'm glad that you find my work nonsense. I appreciate that, Mom.
Pretty
So it's
bad.
a long A, right? Nay.
Yeah.
Nay.
Nay.
Nascent. Yeah, that's right. But this is not about us. Today is about you. So would you like to do the introductions?
Okay, sure. I'm Sloan and he's the Smeltz. And today we are on with our friend Joel Clelland. And we just want to talk about kind of how you and Mark got connected and your new job. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And some of the fun, crazy stories that you already have. So take it away, Joel.
Right. Well, Shelby, great to see you.
Good to see you.
Sloan
too.
and Smelt. I think, Mark, we met through Tony Watley.
That's right.
That's not right. Yeah,
Wait,
we met up in Hollywood, California, a couple years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, the actual Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's where we met. So there's all these Hollywoods out there.
Yeah.
So we met in the actual Hollywood, and we were talking about money and taxes and wanting to pay less in taxes, I think, enjoying adult beverages and fine fare. And things kind of went from there. But I think I was on your show a summer or two back, pre-pandemic. Does that sound about right?
The golden years. Yeah.
Golden years, right? And so now we're not quite post-pandemic, but here we are, and I've rebranded. I'm excited about my new opportunity.
So, I mean, how is that treating you so far? What about it? What are you excited about it for? What excites you?
Financially, it's wonderful. It's the best comp plan I've ever received. So, it's been great for me in that regard. It's definitely stretching me. The last 5 or 6 weeks have been a stretch, but a good one. So a professional stretch, mental stretch, somewhat of an emotional stretch, but not quite as much.
Okay. So when you say like a emotional stretch, like what do you mean?
Well, there's things that are on my desk that weren't on my desk before. You know how through life we get to a place where we find comfort or levels of comfort within our lives, and we design our lives a certain way that, you know, maybe includes preferences and things like that. I'm in the midst of pivoting and understanding that I need to be flexible, and
Sure.
the schedule I ran as Joel, the financial services professional, or Joel, the board chair of a nonprofit, it's different now that I'm a CEO. Now I'm running a CEO schedule. And so I'm just making some adjustments. Okay.
So what do you feel is like the biggest adjustment that you've really just stretched you entirely, that you were not expecting at all?
Ooh, that's a great question. I don't know how to answer that. I'm actually really enjoying quite a bit of what I'm doing. And what I found is that like all of the things that I would prefer in a career, I have in this career now.
Oh, wow. That's
So
incredible.
like things are like really dialing in, and I think it's more exciting than upsetting, if you will. I think there's a lot of excitement wrapped around what I'm doing, because it's like, wow, I get to do that. That's something I've always wanted to do. Ooh, I get to do that too. Holy mackerel, that's awesome.
We don't get to know.
And I'm getting paid.
Aren't you?
What?
We don't get to know what excites you?
It's almost like you work for the service or
Okay. All right.
something.
So I get to be on programs like yours. That's what's cool. And I get to do that regularly. That's actually, I don't know if I shared this before the show, but that's one of my challenges this year is to be on 150 podcasts.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, we crunched down the math. I gotta be doing between 2 and 4 of these a week. And so I
Wow.
got to get up to a really good regimen of popping on people's shows saying, hello, Joel Clelland from Centric.
Well,
Yeah.
so how would you focus on not saying like some of the same things? Like, you know how a lot of podcasts are pretty generic and they kind of suck. Like, how is it that you can, they do, dude, there's so many podcasts
Let's
out
be
there.
honest. Sure.
Like, yeah, let's be real. You suck. Not you, but I'm saying the people who have crappy podcasts that are watching, you suck. So how is it that like you can avoid those generic people and really get to the high end people? Like, let's say, you know, Watley, Cardone, Frisella,
Joe Rogan.
Rogan.
Gary.
Right.
Gary
No,
Vee.
I get 100%. I was on a show yesterday for a future release. I think it's next week. But the gentleman's super smart guy, and you probably already know him, Dwight Heck. You know Dwight? Yeah. He's in one of our clubs. But he's really into the numbers, and he said, yeah, I think there's like 900,000 new podcasts, like just shy of 1 million new podcasts last year, and most of them are dead. There's like only 100,000 of them that actually had any kind of attrition.
Good. It's not for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just go to Walmart or Best Buy and pick up your podcast to go and hope to be successful. There's a lot that goes into it, I'm sure. But at the end of the day, the way I look at it is I'm an evangelist for Centric.
Yeah.
And as a Centric evangelist, I want to get in front of a lot of different audiences. So I want to flip what you're saying, Mark, and I'm going to be saying a lot of the same things, but just to different audiences.
Cool. So
there's a huge education shift. Sorry, Shelby.
no worries. I was actually just going to ask you more about Centric. So it's like, if somebody is watching this show and they're like, I've never heard of this, how would you go about describing it to someone?
For sure.
Necessity in
For
their
sure.
life?
And you don't mind if we do a split screen? If you can make me the host, I can show everybody a couple of things.
Ooh, you are so prepared. That's adorable.
I'm very Zoom.
I'm not gonna do a PowerPoint, I promise.
Yeah.
I'm very Zoom illiterate, so I'm gonna let Mark handle that.
Sell us, Centric. Sell us, Centric.
So do I have the ball? Maverick has the ball.
How do I do that?
I have no idea how to do that. Let's
Then
see.
you go over to participants, and then you hover over my name on the right there.
Host.
Make host.
Yeah. So let me pull this up.
Does it? Okay, there you go. Change
All of
host.
this is being recorded. Just, you know.
Awesome.
you're the host.
Awesome. But
He
you can't
knows
see
it's
my
being recorded. I told him earlier. Hey, Shelby, are you interested in Centric? Me too. Let's watch.
I know, right? Okay.
I do want to know more about it because I feel like I have very remedial knowledge on the subject.
I'm sorry, Shelby. So I didn't really answer your question. What is Centric? Centric is in the cryptocurrency space. We're a dual token ecosystem, which I will break down in a second. But a lot of times people say, are you talking about Bitcoin? And my response is, no, we're not talking about Bitcoin, but it's in the same space.
Yeah.
So what makes Centric different and what attracted me to the project? Because initially I was an investor. I was an investor in Centric before I came aboard as chief executive.
You paid for your spot.
Yeah, well, I was just about to say, like, what's the stock like?
Hey, man, pay for play. I've done it for years. So let's look at this. This is the landing page, and I'll do shared screen for that. Share.
This is so entertaining.
All right.
Yeah,
so share.
this is the best one so far.
I know this is the landing page. Can you see it?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So do you see the little countdown clock right here on the right?
yeah.
Protocol balances in 30 minutes, just a little more than 30 minutes. And what does that mean? Basically, every hour, our native token, Centric Rise, gains growth. So it grows every single hour. And a lot of times people think that we have a stable coin. We don't have a stable coin, but we have what we call a synthetic stable coin, which means it's not just $1 is $1 electric or electronic or virtual. It's a stable currency that actually takes away the volatility piece and adds growth in. So that's what makes Centric unique. So this is the landing page for people. Pretty cool. Up here at the top, it says centric.com. We actually acquired that last week. That was an acquisition. Woohoo!
Wow.
That must have been pricey buying it from somebody.
Centric.com, which is super cool. And let me pop over here. Okay, so this is kind of nifty. These are all little numbers that are changing every moment and basically shows you the real-time numbers of what's happening with Centric Rise. And if you look on the far left, upper left, it says $58.76 and change USD. That's the current face value of Centric Rise. But if I hover over it, it tells me that one CNR or one Centric Rise equals 58.7647666666 CNS. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop share for a second, and then I'll come back to this so we can kind of talk about that for a second, because a lot of times people get lost in the numbers and they're like, oh, what the heck does that mean? I don't know what that means. What's a dual token ecosystem? Well, basically we have two tokens in one system. A lot of projects or a lot of companies only have one coin or one token. We've got two. And so what does that mean? Centric Rise, which is it's our flagship, it's our main native token, is spent and used within the Centric network or the Centric economy that we're building. Centric Cash, or CNS, is our onboard and offboard token. Because a lot of times people think when we talk about money, they're thinking about Benjamins, right? They're thinking about cash or gold or something else in the quote unquote real world. And we're living a lot of our lives in the virtual world now. And the virtual world has its own currency. So the cool thing is onboard and offboard, we're onboarding people into our network. And we do that with one of the tokens. It's called CNS, or Centric Cash. And so Centric Cash is traded on the exchanges like Bitcoin and Ethereum, all the others. And once you can acquire CNS, you bring it to Centric, and then you can convert it to Centric Rise. And a lot of times people say, well, why would I want to do that? I said, well, don't you want hourly growth? And most people are like, well, that makes sense. Yeah, I do. I don't just want to hold my Centric Cash and just it goes up and down like every other token. And the protocols are structured in such a way that eventually, Centric Cash will stabilize around $1 US. Okay. And so I don't know if you remember when we were looking at that last screen, I'll hover it over it again just for the heck of it. And you can see what I'm talking about. But if we go back over to the number screen, we look back on the left at Centric Rise price. Current is CNR protocol enforced price. One CNR, one Centric Rise equals 58.764766666 CNS. Okay. Let me see if I can get to that other one. I'm just going to close this. There we go. Okay, so back to the main homepage, and we're going to go to About Centric. And we're going to bring up that handsome devil right there.
Oh my.
Right?
I know him.
You're not going to look at me. Okay, learn. We're going to go to the learning page. That was my mistake. Okay, so the basics. Whenever I talk with people, Mark and Shelby, about Centric and how to understand, I always send them to the basics page. Dual token economy. Okay. It shows people, I'm not going to go through all of these, but a lot of times people are confused. They think Centric Cash, because it's got the word cash in it, is the currency. The currency is on the left. It's Centric Rise.
Okay.
And what we're doing is we're developing a global currency. And we're hoping that it gets adoption in every country in the world. Now, we're honest about the fact that—
Wait a second.
Yep.
Why do you want it in every part of the world?
Because right now, Mark, most fiat currencies, or the monies, by decree produced by governments, central banks, are landlocked, right? You have to exchange your money when you go from one country to the next a lot of the time. We're trying to develop borderless money. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Wow.
So money, exchange fees, it's accepted everywhere. Wouldn't that be kind of interesting?
Yeah. Well, especially because isn't it going on in China right now that if you bring like a credit card or even paper money and you try to like do an exchange rate, you can't do it in certain parts of China. Like I think it's Shenzhen, where you have to pay everything on your phone.
Mhm.
So that'd be really interesting to actually finally have like a global currency.
And whether we're talking about the central banks, because understand the central banks are not stupid.
Right.
They're developing their own digital currencies. I don't know if you knew that. They're
Oh, I'm
CP.
sure.
I could imagine, yeah, because
Central
I
bank
mean the
digital
dollar is
currency.
being printed
It's
fast.
just digital fiat. That's all it is. It's just an electronic dollar, an electronic yen, or an electronic ruble, or an electronic peso.
Yeah.
It's still an electronic money. Okay. And when we say money, I mean fiat money by the government. So it's got all of the issues that government money has. But why is it accepted? Because it's backed by the government. Okay. So what's the big challenge for crypto projects, whether it's Centric or Ethereum or Cardano or Polkadot or any of the others? What is the issue is that it's not being produced by the government.
Gotcha.
So not all governments back it, but a lot of governments are starting to allow crypto. So it's a long road, I'll be honest. But the thing is we're in a paradigm shift right now in our world where a lot of things are changing. And one of the things that's changing is money.
Well,
And, yeah, please. Mark.
Well, I guess it's just, a lot of people don't trust the government, myself included. I don't trust my own government. Why,
Especially not with my money.
Well, especially not with my money.
You align with that, Joel.
Yeah, I'm sure that. Yeah, exactly. What did you do for me? You know what I mean? Like, well, we protected you. Well, okay, but you didn't.
But then they also depreciated the dollar by printing so much of it.
Right. So it sounds like most people who are in control right now have no idea what they're doing. But that's beside the point. So I guess
we talked about this, Mark. They're professional politicians.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not professional money managers. They're not professional investors. I mean, a lot of them do investing and things of that nature. I mean, they're just like you and me, but they're just running things. But they're not always. They're professionals at getting elected and staying in office. That's
so.
I mean, we got a professional couch surfer managing our money right now. So
there you go. Well, we are living in the age of Zoom, right?
Well, I guess my question is for the future of like, what if the government's just, because a big government would have so much power, what if they just come in and take control of Centric, or take control or write some law, something to where you're screwed and you're out?
Have you been following the SEC, what they're doing with Ripple and Library? We actually had an issue with the SEC in the Philippines. We actually got taken to task. They were trying to say that we were an investment or a security. And we said, no, we're not a security, we're a currency. And so that's the argument going on with the SEC in the Philippines with Centric. But I think we're going to win. Because a lot of the things that they had in their ruling didn't have anything to do with us. When I first came aboard as CEO, I got a chance to read all of those things. And I was reading through it and I'm like, what company are they talking about? They couldn't be talking about Centric. This isn't us. So I think what happens with governments, no matter where they are located in the world, is they paint with a broad brush and they catch a lot of companies and organizations in their net because there's similarities. But the thing is I think what's going to happen is certain projects are going to kind of rise to the top. And a lot of them are already doing that. They're becoming integrated even by governments. I mean, the Stellar network, they're being used by the German government, I think.
Well, so, but why? I just, this confuses me so much. Government's all about control and power, right? It's not about governing. It's about actually owning and controlling everything. Mm-hmm. They say otherwise, but right.
That's just for votes.
That's just life. That's how it is. That's control. That's how that works. You have to keep order and owning things.
Because it's like supposed to be just a superpower to protect you from other countries. It's really just all it is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So
I trust you, Mark. I trust you. I trust myself. I trust my family to do what's best for us. And so I don't think we need an almighty mothership controlling us. I believe that we can handle it on our own. We can work together as a community to make things the way that we want them to be and keep peace, right? But we want to play well in the sandbox with the regulators. We want to make nice with the governments. We just want to do our business. And I was with an investor group last night. I was doing an AMA with their group, and I was talking about that same thing. I said, Centric wants people to pay their taxes. You owe the tax, you got to pay it. Mark, I know you're not super happy about that, but we want people to follow the rules.
Pay as little as possible.
Pay legally. Pay as much
That's
as
right.
little as legally possible.
Yeah.
So, but pay
Tax
your taxes.
avoidance. Yeah.
Right. And we want to play well in the sandbox with the regulators because we're playing a long game here. We see our roadmap 10, 20, 40, 300 years out. I mean, we are doing huge vision plays at Centric.
So basically to where you guys would be the regulators and not the governments, because I mean, that's what everybody wants, is to regulate themselves and not have a regulating body
It would be self-regulating.
Right. There you go.
So the protocols would be self-regulating. We've always said that people lie, the blockchain doesn't lie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the blockchain tells the truth. It basically has everything very transparent. You see exactly what's happening on it. You can't get in there and try to penetrate. You can try, but people see that too. And so the blockchain is transparent. Blockchain doesn't lie, but people do.
Yeah.
What we're developing at Centric is we're developing a governance board. And that governance board will be made up of people from all walks of life all around the world, people that have something to lose. And so these are going to be wise people, power players across all industries, and they're going to basically control, for lack of a better term, what happens at Centric, but it's a self-regulating network. And it's owned by the people. It's owned by the people. Did you know the foundation is a nonprofit? Centric Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit. And most crypto projects are, because they're exploratory. They're made up of like MIT professors and people from Stanford and Berkeley, engineers, mathematicians. They're exploring and they're trying to find ways to make, things more efficient in the money space. And they're experimenting. And so a lot of these projects are nonprofits.
So
I mean, obviously people are incentivized to do their best, like every other area of our lives. I'm an investor, so I've got the investor play in Centric. But now as CEO, I've got kind of a different role. I'm, like I said earlier, I'm the evangelist, Joel the evangelist for Centric.
Yeah.
No, don't bow down to me. But I'm here to share. I'm here to educate. And I think I have to get back to my early point. Crypto is still a very relatively new space. The currency of the blockchain, cryptocurrency, call it digital currency, call it virtual currency. And there's a big learning curve for the whole world. The entire planet is having a learning curve right now. I mean, we're still only in like the 12th year of Bitcoin 1.0. So, I mean, when you think about it, we've had fiat currencies for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. People have been bartering for thousands of years. Yeah. And we believe that the Centric network is going to help people in communities barter better and cheaper. Get what you want for less money and more efficiently.
Yeah, exactly. So what is accepted right now? So if you had a lot of cryptocurrency, is that something you can use for investments like real estate or stocks or
Great question.
Whatever you feel?
Excellent question, Shelby. In countries like Australia, high ticket items are already starting to get purchased with crypto.
Cool.
Yachts, homes, jewelry, automobiles, things like that. In the US, not so much yet, but if you find a business owner that accepts crypto, you can buy your next Mercedes or your next Ford with crypto if you find a dealership that accepts crypto. So the question that we're telling people to start memorizing is, do you accept crypto?
Yeah.
Do you accept crypto? Because the thing is
that's a hard question, Joel.
Mark, do you accept crypto? I'll send you some Bitcoin. I'll send you some Ethereum. I'll send you some Centric Rise. And the thing is, if you have a Centric Rise wallet, I can send you Centric Rise from my wallet to your wallet.
So how does someone get started doing that? If you have no cryptocurrency, what do you do?
Well, I know a lot of our listeners are in the United States or North America. There are several platforms. Sometimes they're called exchanges, where people can, I like the term platform better, but where people can actually get started. The biggest one in North America is Coinbase. You might have heard about Coinbase in the news or something like that. See, isn't that crazy? And that's the biggest right now. They're actually probably doing an IPO fairly soon. I don't think they did it yet, but I mean, just a massive multi-billion-dollar organization. Lots of crypto moves in and out of it, along with fiat currency. And when I use the term fiat, I'm talking about dollars, US dollars, Canadian dollars, Mexican pesos. You know what I mean? Everything in North America just kind of going into these platforms.
Okay.
There are a lot of them. I mean, Coinbase, I think, is the largest. Binance is the largest globally, I think. I believe it still is.
Did you say Binance?
Yeah, binary
Binance.
finance, I guess.
Binary financing. Yeah, that's smart, man.
Binance. Yeah. So Binance, I think, is the biggest globally. They basically you can move fiat currency or your, dollars from your bank account into these platforms, and then you can start buying crypto. Now you can buy Bitcoin a lot of places.
Yeah.
PayPal, Cash App. There's a lot of places where you can buy where you're like, you're not thinking, hey, this is where I'm going to do my crypto investing. No, but the thing is, you can get. I bought some Bitcoin on the Cash App just because I wanted to. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get some Bitcoin. What the heck? And so I bought it off the Cash App, even though I have several other platforms and exchanges where I can access Bitcoin. And a lot of times, what I use Bitcoin for is to get other crypto, or if somebody only accepts Bitcoin, like I'll get the Bitcoin, I'll send it to them. So just because I prefer to work with crypto to traditional fiat, but let's face it, I can't pay my utility bills yet with Bitcoin or Centric Rise.
Sure.
but we envision a time when you'll have those options.
So, okay. So Centric, what are they doing different than everyone else? And like, how can you guys lead the charge even more? I mean, as a
We're trying to
CEO,
solve the volatility issue, Mark, because right now, a lot of times people don't want to take Bitcoin or Ethereum because of the volatility. Like we'll use $1,000, a round number. Let's say I send $1,000 to you, Shelby, and I send it to you in Ethereum. And by the time the Ethereum reaches your Ethereum wallet, it's gone down to $850. Would you be upset with me?
Probably.
You'd probably be upset with Joel. Yeah. Now, the only
we know where you live, Joel.
This PayPal?
Yeah. I want my
The only
$150, man.
I'll give you an example of when you wouldn't be upset. You might not be upset if you were planning to hold that Ethereum.
Okay.
In the speculation that it's going to double to $2,000.
Okay.
That makes sense? So
Yeah.
at the moment, these volatile tokens, which most are, when they move from one wallet to the next wallet, they've got volatility along the way. And
Yeah.
then when they're in either wallet, they've got volatility as well, regard to the price per token or per coin, however you want to phrase it. So it just depends. Again, it the attorney speak. It depends on what people are trying
I remember that.
it depends on what people are trying to use it for. Now, if you're a business and you're using it for your accounts receivable, for your operational costs and things like that, you may have a problem receiving crypto at this time because there aren't a lot of cryptos that are super stable, except for the stable coins. And I'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
Most tokens are volatile.
Right.
Those are the ones that are also an investment. People buy them hoping that they will go up, they can sell, and they can move into something else. You follow me?
Yes.
And there are stable coins that are basically like electronic dollars. Tether, USDC. These are stable coins with like $1 is $1 is $1, but there's no investment incentive there. It's just electronic money.
Right.
Okay, it's not electronic money that goes up like Centric and Bitcoin and Ethereum and projects like that. So, but the thing is, what we're really trying to do is we're trying to solve the volatility issue. And right now, Centric Cash, our onboard, offboard token, is still very volatile. And we have to be honest about that. But we envision a time when the protocols reach consensus and our friend, Centric Cash, stabilizes at about $1. And whatever the face amount of Centric Rise is, that's the value of Centric Rise. So my investment in Centric has like over 10x'd since I got in last August, and it just keeps going up. It goes up every hour. So the value of my money goes up every hour. Why wouldn't someone want to know how that works and understand it?
Right.
So the recommendation we say, obviously I showed you the basics page, centric.com. Woohoo, we got it last week. Acquisition, centric.com. Go to centric.com, and under the learnings, you can view the basics page. And then I highly recommend reading the white paper, maybe with some coffee or your favorite beverage. Just kind of going through the white paper, seeing what we're about, what we're trying to do, solve the volatility issue, and become a global currency.
Okay. This is going to be out there, but I've got a weird question. Do you mind?
I don't mind.
Okay. So let's say that since we don't necessarily understand all about electricity or time or the future and we can't see, let's say electricity or something happens to the internet and it crashes and everything that you guys have, like digital, everything is like a system reset, like a kill switch or something like that.
Mhm.
What would you do then? How would you restart? How would you try and refine your clients? What is it that would you switch to, what fail safes have you guys talked about as far as a company?
I actually have 3 answers for you, Mark.
Cool.
Yes.
So the first one is the sustainability of the networks. Every network has varying levels of sustainability and efficiency. And then the second thing I would say is cold storage. Do you know what that is?
Well, I mean, I know for apples, but no.
Yeah, I was like, a freezer.
Yeah, well, basically you're taking it out of the system. And you're locking it down in a thumb drive or in an electronic wallet.
So it's a backup.
You can actually do that with crypto. You can move it out of the networks and put it in a device somewhere that's not connected. And when this, apocalyptic happening that you're talking about occurs, you're like smiling quietly because you're like, when the dust settles, I'll plug back in. I've got my money right here. So that's the second thing. And then the third item, I knew there was 3. Because right when you said it, 3 things popped into my mind. So the efficiency of the networks, cold storage. What was your question, Mark?
Well, let's say that like the electricity or something happens, a kill switch, like system reset occurs, or it stops, or the internet crashes and it stops existing.
The third one is a system airdrop. Do you know what a system airdrop is? Okay, so basically, we've actually done this 2 or 3 times at Centric, and most of the big projects have done airdrops. And basically, it's where everything gets calculated and dialed in because we can't upset what's happening in the ecosystem. Sounds very biological, doesn't it? Can't upset the ecosystem. So, but what we can do is send out a message and say, you know what, everybody, we're resetting. We're going to 2.0, we're going to 3.0, we're doing some kind of a change, or we're jumping chains. We're currently on the Tron blockchain. We're looking to jump or migrate to another chain and eventually have the Centric blockchain. But right now we're on Tron to save people money because we like saving people money. See, you can see why I'm in this company now, right? We actually saved people $50 million in fees by moving from Ethereum to Tron.
Wow.
So what is the airdrop? Thanks, man. But the airdrop, basically what it is it could be a reset, or it could just be a message that, hey, you've got 100,000 tokens. We're going to preserve those 100,000 tokens, but for the next 2 hours, you're going to see 0. And that's going to upset you.
Yeah.
We just want you to know, we know you have those tokens. We're resetting. We're going to airdrop tokens, or we're going to set it back up for you. So even if the worst case scenario happens, we have backups and backups and backups and backups and backups of everything that's happening. We have a 100% secure network at Centric. We've never been hacked.
Show off.
Thank you very much. So, but at the end of the day, security is very important to us, and education is important, and we're scaling, man. We're scaling.
Sorry, I said something under my breath that he thought was funny. You said that you had 100% security, and I said, can you talk to Zuckerberg?
Yeah, we've never been hacked, ever.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's truly incredible.
Yeah, thank you. Well, like I said, I mean, 100% security. We've saved our customers over $50 million in fees.
Yeah, that's.
We're always looking for efficiency. We want speed, efficiency, and we want to save people money.
And we want it now.
That's right.
The commercial.
Yeah.
And I'm the chairman, so damn it, you gotta listen. This is what we want. No, but it's great. It's great because the founders of our company, we all very much have a similar feel for where the vision of the project is going. And I think that's one of the things that's most inspiring about being at Centric is we're a really good team. Very, very good team. I love it.
So if somebody wants to be like you and invest in Centric so that their money can be like going up every hour, where do they start?
What's the easiest way to say, hey man, take my money?
I believe in this company. Let's go.
So Shelby, 2 things. One is we started talking about Coinbase a little bit, and Coinbase, like I said, I've got a lot of platforms and a lot of exchanges that I currently personally am on as an investor, but Coinbase is really the easiest platform to use. It's the easiest.
But you can
exchange.
actually invest in Centric itself, the company.
No, negative, not at this time. But what you can do is you can acquire the tokens you need to go to one of our preferred exchanges to get Centric. And
Gotcha.
then you set up your free wallet at centric.com.
Platform.
So you can get the Centric currency, the Centric Rise, but you can't invest in Centric itself, the company.
No.
Okay.
We're not for sale. We're not for sale. We're money for the people, man. Money for the people.
Well, I guess it's interesting because you know me, my mind always think like I'm thinking like really far out, like weird stuff, like 4.5 billion years, you know, we're gonna die because
Have you read our roadmap, Mark?
no, I will most certainly read.
After the show, you got to.
I'm gonna read so much about this company today. I'm very
Yeah,
intrigued.
we're pretty stoked about this actually.
It's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind.
Well, I want to talk to your the founders. I want to talk to and kind of explore like their brains and like you know, privately. I want to like ask them like what are some of the issues that you're going through. I'll sign whatever NDA. Like I want to help you guys make even more people money and help people even more. Like I want to do that.
Well, Mark, I know you're a voice actor. Shelby, do you do voice acting as well?
Occasionally.
Occasionally. Okay.
He's more of on screen.
Right. Got it. So, but Mark, I was thinking about on the way over to my office this morning, I was thinking about you, and I was thinking it would be great to have Mark do some voice acting for Centric.
I would love that.
Yeah,
We
so
don't
that, I mean,
out there.
we'll get down the road together. We're going to be spending millions of dollars on marketing over the next 6 to 18 months. So
I'm there.
you should get a
Good.
slice of that, right?
Well, I
So, but
think-
no, I'm very excited, and I think if you unpack centric.com, your mind will be blown beyond belief.
Yeah.
Intergalactic
Don't believe it.
explosions. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you of all people know that we're heading into some really weird times economically post the pandemic. So
Mhm.
I think that,
Especially with all of the money printing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And them trying to revive the stock market on borrowed time and borrowed money and everything like that. It's just going to be a mess. So I think it's really cool that you guys are really trying to pump out the message of Centric and cryptocurrencies, because I think that that's going to be what saves people in the long run.
I think so.
Like if you don't spare-
Especially Shelby, the unbanked world. I mean,
Yeah.
there's like over 2 billion people globally that have no access to financial services, no access to education, no access to banks, but
Yeah.
they might have a phone.
So if
Yeah.
somebody had
Do
this,
all of your money work on the phone if you can find vendors and people who accept crypto.
yeah, if somebody
You
had,
accept crypto?
what's up? No, I'm getting crypto now after this.
Shelby, do you have crypto?
I know, but I'm gonna get it, and then I'm gonna ask everyone if they accept it.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
What was your
So
question?
but anyway, Shelby, to get back to your original question, yeah, set up a Coinbase account. I like Coinbase because they have like an educational side. They have a news feed as well. You can explore different crypto projects. You can buy crypto very easily there using fiat money, money from your bank account. There are other platforms out there that will let you use a credit card, and actually there's a lot of ways to access crypto, but once you have the crypto you need to exchange for Centric cash, then you can move it into your Centric wallet to exchange, or rather convert to Rise and get that hourly growth.
All right.
So it's a pretty simple process, but it's daunting for a lot of people because it's new. It's new. It's like, oh, I got to do 2FA over here and over here. Are you kidding me? Oh, this is too much work. I'm like, okay. So, but like the first time I bought and sent crypto, I was holding my breath. I was like,
I can imagine.
yeah, because I mean, first it was hundreds of dollars. Now I'm sending thousands of dollars electronically, and every time there's a little bit, but I have way more peace about it now because I've been sending it
Right.
to people and businesses and to myself, because I send it from one of my wallets to another wallet too. So I'm sending money to myself even. And at the end of the day, it's wonderful because it's so streamlined. It's like, it's all right there. I can see it. I know where it is. I can access it whenever I need to. And if people accept it, then I can spend it. A dear friend of mine, he actually bought a drone with Bitcoin.
Wow.
Yeah. He sent this company BTC and they sent him a drone. So, I mean, there are all kinds of things that are happening right now in the space. It doesn't have a lot of adoption. We'll be, honest about that, but it's coming. It's going to be in our world, and why not start learning now? Why not start even experimenting a little bit now? And unlike the traditional investment space, where normally you need lots of money to get started, in crypto you can start with $5 or $10.
Incredible.
Sometimes I'll sit at the kitchen table with somebody and I'll just say, hey, you want to see me buy some Bitcoin? And they're like, huh?
Let's get down. I want to see.
And then I'm like, I just bought $10 of Bitcoin.
Wow.
So I do that just as kind of a teaching piece. I prefer not to buy Bitcoin because it's so expensive. Even if you buy a fraction, like $10 worth, you still have to pay fees and things like that.
Okay.
And a lot of the bigger projects have more fees than Centric does.
Okay.
But even Centric does have some expenses.
Of course.
So, but we're always trying to save people money.
That's incredible. So
Set up your
on the side of,
future, save money, and have the best currency possible 5-10 years out.
yeah, on the side of like saving the money, because it's not a fiat currency, what's the deal with the taxes?
Excellent question. So the 1040s here in the US, obviously if somebody's watching this from another country, they have different issues and different regulations, but in the US, the 1040 now does have sections for crypto. I think for the, we just got an extension for 2020 through May 15th, I think we got another month because of the pandemic. That sound right? Or,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a tax person. So, but at the end of the day, and understand people, this is not tax advice. There's the disclaimer.
Yeah.
This is not tax advice, but the 1040 does have a little box for crypto. You have to check it. If you don't, the IRS will come after you. They'll send you a letter because
Which doesn't make sense because has nothing to do with the government.
I'm not done. Then you can get upset. I know you're upset, but the companies have to report to the IRS. So like approved platforms like Coinbase, they have to send out to you, hey, this person's been trading Ethereum all year long. Or they bought some Ethereum and then they liquidated and put the cash in their bank account. And this is how much it was. So the platforms are reporting. And so Tom, Dick, and Harry, and Sally, citizen, we need to know that if we're in the crypto space on any level, that we need to mark the box, even if we're just buying Bitcoin from the Cash App. We should mark the box and say, you know what, I did buy some Bitcoin. It's not a lot, but because then when the paper catches up with you, you're not in bad graces with the IRS, because we don't want to get in trouble with the IRS.
Yeah.
But we do want to know how it works. And so like for me, what I do is I prepay tax. And a lot of times people are like, Joel, you're freaking insane. I said, well, when they come after me and audit me, I just say, hey, look, here's my ledger. I gave you guys a lot in taxes. Oh, do I still owe? Oh, I'm so sorry, I underpaid.
Yeah.
Do you accept crypto? So hopefully the IRS will accept it at some point, but we'll see. We'll probably have to convert it into the central bank digital currency and then give that to them.
So
You would think that if they're like paying attention to whether or not you're trading it and trying to tax you on it, that at some point you can use that as leverage to get them to accept it. So.
Right. I think so. And the people, the government, we're government for the people and by the people in the United States. I know that I might have rose-colored glasses. I see you rolling your eyes there. Rose-colored glasses on, but hey, I still believe that. Now
I do too. I believe it too.
People in place all the time for that to be played out correctly and appropriately and fully, but I believe that, and I think that the government is supposed to be there to help and protect.
Mm-hmm.
They're not there to do everything for us.
That's freaking right.
There are a lot of people who are food insecure. The pandemic screwed up a lot of things.
Sure.
For a lot of people lost jobs, or they got downsized or outsized or whatever, what have you. And there are a lot of real life problems out there. And I think the government does what the government does. But the thing is they shouldn't do everything for us.
Yeah.
Because then we become complacent citizens. We become lazy.
Oh.
And I want people to be the best that they can be in every area of their lives. And that would also include money.
Well, what do bullies want? They want more money, right? So hopefully the IRS and
are you going to get me in trouble?
Am I what?
I said, are you going to get me in trouble?
No.
Hey, Mr. Clelland, you were on that show with.
No, based on the last thing you said, my brain did like somersaults of the 7 hours of content I could explore with you based on that last sentence. I'm not going to do that to you today.
You're
Well,
awesome.
I have so many questions.
We have so many questions for you, Joel. This is not the only time that you'll be on the
We can't
show.
do it all in one program. Maybe what we could do, if it's okay with the two of you, maybe I could come back in like a month or something.
I was,
Yes.
Yeah, because there are a lot of wonderful developments happening at Centric, and I give updates. We put out PR and press releases regularly, but I think that would be fun, especially if the two of you are going to start experimenting with crypto.
Well, this is a big new investment.
Kind of learning a little bit about it, and off the show, I can help troubleshoot if you need me to.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. Because this is a really big new investment year for us. We've been learning so much more about real estate, stocks, crypto, everything, because we're at that point in our life where we're like, we need a lot more investments than we have. So
yep.
Awesome. I think it'd be cool to do like maybe like a monthly crypto update. I don't know.
I'd love to be one of your guests. That'd be great, because I know you're gonna have so many people you can talk to.
Well, we usually talk to people who also work in film, so you're a nice little variety to do like the financial side update, which is cool.
That's right.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Well, I guess I mean I know that we're kind of coming to close to an hour here, but
feels like 10 minutes. Honestly.
Yeah, it really does. Things has been flown by. It really has. I guess I want to know, because you're probably going to hate this, by the way. But how can we help you as a CEO of a company? 2 kids, 2 young adults, 2 people that got really interesting minds. How is it that we can help a CEO of a company?
Well, we'll start with the easiest part. The easiest part would be for both of you to go to centric.com and set up wallets.
Cool.
Set up your Centric wallet, start learning about our economy, our vision, where Centric Rise is going. And Centric Rise is the currency. I know there's still some confusion in the marketplace. A lot of people think Centric Cash, that's the currency. I said, no, that's the onboard, offboard token to the Centric economy. So set up your wallet. Second, marketing. Where our focus over the next 6 to 18 months is going to be marketing and education. As the Centric evangelist, we can always use help in those departments. And I know both of you are stellar in that department.
As far as writing,
working on it. Yes.
Yeah, no, you guys are great. You guys are very creative and very helpful in that space. And then third, just be ambassadors. When you understand it, when you take the time to understand crypto, understand the processes, and then Centric and what we're trying to do, you can pass it along. And that's what we ask is that organically we grow this thing, because we're going to be a global currency. We're on pace to be that. Centric, global currency for the next generation.
That's a great
good tag.
Great tag.
I like that. Global currency for the next.
It's our motto.
Love that.
Oh, it's good. That's a good one.
Thanks.
So
it's so funny because somebody in house, he will remain nameless, and no, it's not one of the co-founders. Gentleman, he came, he's like, Joel, I don't like our motto. I said, okay, well, what would you prefer? So global currency for this generation. And I'm all, right on, man. I'm right there with you. Let's spend this. Do you accept crypto?
For all generations.
Well, think about this. There you
go.
Think about this. Global currency for all generations, because what if time travel is a thing and eventually back in the day they have a secret crypto in the past, and Jesus is like one of these dudes who's like, hey man, forgive, why have you forsaken me? Do you take Bitcoin?
Joel, put it in plate on Sunday.
The second you said,
hey, I'm going to send it to the church's wallet.
Yeah.
Yes. The second you said marketing, I'm sure Mark was like, I'm going to write an entire feature film just about Centric.
Oh, I'm there, man.
That would be badass.
You're going to have 17 commercials now in the next day.
Seriously, dude, I want to jump on board and say, hey man, you guys can pay me. I'm going to come up with some good stuff. She's a great writer. I'm a good writer. Like, we're going to come up with, dude, we're just going to send you a free thing. And you're going to be like, you're going to like it.
2 projects right now that I'd love your feedback on. But
Yeah,
definitely for the future. I think the two of you would be instrumental in helping us just get the word out as ambassadors, and then kind of understanding, especially like Shelby, as you said, I mean, you guys are starting your financial life. You're getting in with both feet to the investment space and planning space, and you're looking at everything. And so you can give people comparisons too, and be honest about the comparisons, because a lot of times in the investment space, people are very subjective. And they're like, hey, I only like real estate.
Mm-hmm. And that's not
I'm all about the precious metals, silver, gold, platinum, yeah, palladium. Yeah, that's me. And then you got people that are only insurance, people are only the stock market, only banking, only business. And the thing is you both are so diverse and open to learning that I think that's going to be a benefit to people.
Genuinely
Yeah,
curious,
because
man.
that's the true diversification of a portfolio, is all different assets,
It's
not all different
have
stocks.
things that you understand and in different areas.
Yeah.
True asset allocation.
Mhm.
Good stuff.
You're a smart
Yep.
guy.
That's why we talked to you.
I'm above average, Mark.
Okay. You have questions?
Oh, I know you've got a ton of questions.
Yeah, but
Oh.
I don't think Joel has 12 hours of his life right now.
No, not now.
Should we move in?
But you know what? We can meet up on my island in a couple of years, and we'll have that time.
We'll bring our private jet. That'll be great.
Yeah,
One of the jets. Yeah, you can come over. But
there you go.
no, no, you got to dream big.
See, but that's the thing though. People that are hating. Okay, I know that we're gonna wrap this up, but do people that are like hating on cash and hating on money and hating on success, like they're
That's
not.
why you don't have it.
That's why you don't have it, dude. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna hate on success. I'm gonna be like, dude, awesome. I'm gonna go for that. Like,
Well, it's like what Grant Cardone says. At this point in time, it's your responsibility. Like, we've gotten to a place where it's not like it was in the 40s, where you can just go to college and get a job and work your way up the ladder and be fine. It's your responsibility to learn about outside investments and have multiple streams of income.
100%.
Or
Even the
you're-
50s and 60s, and even the 70s for people that were adults back then. I was born in the 70s.
Yeah.
So, but you're absolutely right, Shelby. Things are changing so much. People have to be more responsible for themselves when it comes to money.
that's right.
And you know what? I'm not a huge fan of fiat, but it's what we've got right now. It's what we use as a medium of exchange. Do I think Centric is going to be global currency and a great medium of exchange? It's an excellent medium of exchange. Who wouldn't want to receive something that goes up in value every hour? Edison, the phone company, they would want that, I would think. Yeah.
Oh, 1,000%.
Right. So, but at the end of the day, we have fiat. And yesterday I was taking one of my walks and I picked up a dime. I picked it up because it was there. I pick up pennies. I didn't used to do that because I was like, oh, I can't pick up a penny or a dime or a nickel, only quarters and above. But the thing is, if you turn money away, it doesn't flow into your life.
That's right.
So I picked up the dime and I carried it around with me. And when I got to the office, the gal who's the admin here, I was talking with her about crypto, and I pulled it out of my pocket and I said, here's 10 pennies. I sat it on the desk and then I put it back in my pocket, but I was just using it as a visual aid because that's what we have to work with right now.
Yeah.
But if we're all going out and asking the question, what was it again?
DJ Crypto.
It's going to happen, right? More places will accept it, including places like our utility companies.
Yeah.
People that are real estate investors, people who hold real estate, some are already accepting crypto. Did you know that? I had a gentleman, he's a couple decades my senior, who has a large real estate portfolio. And he asked me, hey, Joel, do you think I should accept Ethereum from my tenants? I don't need the money. I said, I know you don't need the money. I said, do you want Ethereum? and he said, well, I just heard an infomercial about it. And so like he and I talked for a little bit about Ethereum. I said, if I was in your shoes, sure, why not?
Nothing to lose if you don't need the money. Like,
Exactly. And he's looking at it as a potential gain because he doesn't need money. Interesting.
oh, dude, this is probably the most interesting episode we've done so
Oh,
far.
1,000%.
Oh yeah.
But what I wanted to ask about this dime that you picked up that I think will really
It might still be in my pocket.
visual aid is 10 hours later, was that
It
dime?
is still in my pocket.
It's still in your pocket? Is it $1? Is it $7?
No, it's a dime.
Right,
a dime.
exactly. That's why.
Yeah, I picked it up, Shelby, because of my philosophy.
Yeah.
I believe over the years has changed. I don't turn any money away.
Yeah, but your point.
Yeah. Well, my point with like crypto versus the US dollar.
Oh,
is-
crypto versus fiat. Yeah, this is fiat.
yeah. If you put that dime in your pocket for a year, it's going to
I don't
lower in
love that.
value.
I don't love that. I use it.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. What you're saying is,
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is like if you put the dime in like your bank or in your pocket, not your bank, but like in your pocket for a year, it'll be worth less
worth less.
next year. But if you
Right.
put it in your crypto, it'll be worth more.
Centric, it's worth more every hour
Yep.
because
exactly.
Centric is deflationary. A lot of cryptos are deflationary, which means they go up in value, whereas inflationary fiat goes down in value. So
Yeah.
your purchasing power actually goes up by holding crypto. Your purchasing power goes down by holding this.
Mhm. That's right. That's
Tonight.
right. That's right.
So how does a
I
company
picked up yesterday.
so how does a company that only takes fiat convert to accepting crypto?
That's it. That's actually probably the easiest question.
Yeah.
You know what the hard part of it is? Mindset.
Okay.
You got stodgy people with a fixed mindset that run a lot of companies.
Stodgy. I haven't heard that in a while.
That's a great. I heard that the other day in my improv class.
Hey, he's stodgy. So okay, so you got mindset.
Let's be honest, right? That's what it is. It's the fixed mindset. That's why there's a pushback. I mean, obviously, Mark, there's the control element that you were talking about, but I think it's just a fixed mindset because the systems are so easy. It's so easy to onboard crypto into any institution, any company, any organization. It's super easy. Trust me. We could do a whole show just on that. We're not going to get into it right now. I
A
don't want
month
to go
from
down.
now, we'll do it.
See, I had
No,
5
no.
questions.
No, you can't make me. No, but at the end of the day, the systems are already there. Everything's built. People just have to say yes to the question, do you accept crypto? They just have to say yes, and they set up a wallet. The technology's there. So companies and institutions, organizations, governments, they just have to say yes. That's it.
I love it.
They have
Yeah.
to set up their own wallet and receive your crypto because that's
Love
how you want to pay. And shouldn't the people have the preference? Shouldn't the people have the preference? Yes.
Damn right.
It's just blowing my mind how much people are focusing on the wrong things.
Yeah, they are focusing on. We're going to pay our taxes. We just want to pay with crypto.
Yeah.
And less.
Wow. This is. I have so much to think about now.
All right. Well, we got to wrap it up because I actually have to get to
Yeah, you
another.
probably have a life.
Good to see you guys. You guys are so beautiful.
You're beautiful.
Beautiful.
Mark, I used to think you were attractive, and then I met Shelby. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, she's perfect.
Aw.
Yeah. All right, man. We'll let you go.
Thank
All
you
right, it's good
so
to see you
much.
guys.
Have a wonderful day. Good to see you.
Bye.